Good gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to New Play CDH, where we watch the CLG, the CDH League of Gentlemen, plays their game. We have today a Kodashima, Animar, Kinnan, and Isshai Keddis playing head-to-head. This was part of the Thursday League. Let us thank the CLG, the CDH League of Gentlemen, for allowing us to record their footage, and of course the Scruffy Octopus, or in French La Pieuvre Barbue, for creating our own recording setup so that we can watch these games and stream them. For the noob at home, we are now watching in 15 seconds the 5 minutes of mulliganing, and we go ahead with the. So we see Kodashima starting with a land and passing. Animar will play a mana crypt. He will go into a land, and then he will, that one, most probably a pain land, and will play a Sylvan Library. Going to the Kinnan player turn, we plays a Windswept Heat, goes to fetch a tropical island. Gonna play a Mox Hopal, grab a Mox Diamond, pitch a Mana Confluence. And he will go ahead, tap 2, and cast Kinnan. Luckily, the other Mox is not up yet, as he only. So we have Mana Crypt, Highland, Remora. So Isshai going up for cards too. We have our Kodashima, play the Comet Beacon, pass. So we got Animar picking up 3 cards. Let's see if he goes for the gamble or he decides to put some back. He will keep the 3 and pay 8 life, going down to 31. Pays 1, plays Sylvan Safekeeper. And counts his cards as 7 and pass. Kinnan player, City of Brass, pass. Yep. Isshai Keddis does not pay for the fish, plays a Cavern of Souls, naming bird, of course, for Isshai, cast Isshai and pass. So unluckily Kodashima drew, did nothing and pass. Now Animar is thinking, what is he going to do with his Sylvan Library? Ballsy. We do not see anything special in his hand. However, we know that he wasn't lucky yet with 2 of his last draw. Most probably he saw what was gonna happen, put back the cards. Mystical Tutor, as I asked the player, that was a play to actually just reshuffle his library. So you will go and see him. He's gonna flip a Deflecting Swat to put on top. But the only reason why he did that was to be able to Mystical Tutor shuffle and be able to do something with his with the rest of his with the future library that's going to be. And with the tutor completed, he passes to Kinnan. Kinnan player will then play a Windswept Heat, fetch a duel, and he will pass. Isshai player's draws Ancient Tomb, if I remember correctly. Taps the tomb for 2. And then he goes into a Arcane Signet from Doctor Who. Tap Signet, taps 2 land, then he plays Keddis. Goes to combat. He will hit Kinnan, and then everybody else takes 3. And the Kodashima player seems happy. Gonna play a Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. And then he goes into a Bird of Paradise. Uses his second forest to go into a Llanowar Elves. As priority, third forest for the Finder'n Elves. Talk about an exploding first turn of doing something for the Kodashima player. Animar player is gonna untap, roll for crypt. He's losing 3, down to 25, which is somewhat low. Draws 3, keeps 2. One of them was a land and the other one was a one ring, which is good draws. Use a land, plays a land, use a land for a Carpet of Flower. Doctor Who edition. We see Kinnan moving around. So there's only, it's pointing to Isshai, I believe. Plays a Phyrexian Metamorph, copying Kinnan. No one reacting. Then he passes the turn to the Kinnan player. Still Kinnan. Plays a Llanowar Elves. Mox Opal is still not on. Passes the turn to the Isshai player. Roll for crypt. Win. Sacred Foundry, maybe. Taps Hurricane and the Mana Crypt for an aggravated assault. And we see the Kinnan player right off the bat goes into Swan Song, counterspelling the aggravated assault. And of course, Isshai will go into the Revenge play, which is still not bad because it's going to do 9 damage to each of the players. And now he comes to the Kodashima player. So he is tapping 3. Phyrexian Metamorph with 3 dorks. There is no way that he's not going to copy a Kinnan. Then he taps 3 for Kodama. First commander out. If he gets the second one, things are going to be troublesome. And then he passes the turn to the Animar player. Goes to the untap, roll for crypt, still good. Draws 3. And we need to remember he's down to 11, so he's going to keep only a single card. Thinking about his options. Question is, what can he do? And he's going to tap his Tropical Island and use Carpet of Flower to cast Rhystic Study. Passes the turn to the Kinnan player, I believe. Nope. Taps his second land, Mana Crypt, for a Alchemist's Retrieval targeting Isshai, if I remember correctly. So Alchemist Retriever is a cleave spell from Crimson Vow. Allows you to bounce back something in your hand, since Isshai was now up to 9. Good move, because otherwise it would have been dead at his turn if Isshai connected with anyone. Then he passes to the Kinnan player. Kinnan players tap for 2, 7. He's trying to do a big flip. And oh no, the whiff. Sadly, we saw the Hardwood Charm, Mental Misstep, no creatures. Then we will see Kinnan player passes to the Isshai. Plays a Chromox. Chromox, he will drop Isshai under the Chrome box. We see that he forgot to roll for script. Draws it, pops Isshai under the Chrome box. Now we've added a judge call on that one, so just so if nobody knows, I'm pretty sure most of you knows, if you exile a card with Chrome box, even if it says imprint on the card, imprint still goes and uses the card exiled. The card has to be exiled, because if it's not exiled, it cannot refer to it anymore. So exiling a commander to recast it right after, it will make that your Chrome box is not usable. And then we see him pass the turn to the Kodashima player. So taps everything to cast Sakashima. Sakashima is a copy of Kodama, of course. So on the Kodama triggers, he throws in Realm Seekers. Realm Seekers comes in with a number of counter equal to the number of cards in all hands, which is actually 14 +1/+1s on it, which is a 15/15. And now goes the shenanigans. Since Realm Seeker came in and it was not with the Sakashima trigger, Sakashima allows him to put another card in play. So he will look at his hand, he will throw a Miloku, the Cloud Mirror. Miloku Cloud Mirror is one of these combo pieces. Miloku allows him to pay 1, return the land to his hand, and it creates a 1/1 blue illusion. So the combo is not necessarily for the illusion. Then he drops a Lotus Cobra, and he will switch between Kodama and Sakashima. Now he drops a Helvish Mystic. As long as the CMC is higher than is lower or equal to the card that he dropped before, it is legal. So now you see him tap 4, 1, 2. Well, yeah, he gets 4 from the Mana Dork. Taps 3 more, and then he will 4, and he will cast Chord of Calling for 6, if I remember correctly. And since that Chord of Calling is for 6, it will actually put a creature card in play, and it will trigger both Sakashima and Kodama. So we will restart the shenanigans with a 6 CMC or lower, depending on what he is going. And here we go. He goes for Prime Speaker Zagana. Prime Speaker Zagana comes in with a number of +1/+1 cards, +1/+1 counters on Earth. And since the Realm Seekers is a 15/15, 14/14, Prime Speaker Zagana will be a 15/15. So as she gets into play, she gets 14 +1/+1, and then she will draw the number of cards for the number of +1/+1 she has. So we see the Kodashima players draw 14 cards. Now, which kind of shenanigans will he be able to do? And there we go. He will most probably start emptying his hand. Placing card most probably mana value wise, just to be sure that he goes from high to low. Start with a Spell Seeker. Seems like he has a different plan, because I'm pretty sure he should have higher cost. Spell Seekers go get an instant or a sorcery that is 2 CMC or less. Put it into their hand, reveal, put it into their hand, they shuffle the library. So it goes get Essence Flux. So Essence Flux is technically a flicker spell. Exile, get back into play. We will see him. I do not see any mana, so he's gonna play Rhystic Study because it is a 3 cost to Spellseeker. He will then cast Priest of Titania, follow that up with a Nurkin Signet, follow that up with a Sylvan Library. So what, like I was saying, goes into Mystic Remora, so we went 3 CMC, 3 CMC, 2 CMC, 2 CMC, and Mystic Remora to end. And then he will drop a land, Scalding Tarn, then he drops a different land, then he drops a different land. So he is alternating Kodama, Sakashima. He will hand his loop maybe with a Mox Hopple. And he will go exile Simian Spirit Guide under the Chrome Mox. He will tap Arcane for blue, Essence Flux, Prime Speaker. So we will do the same shenanigans, flickering Prime Speaker Zagana, doing the same thing, drawing 14 cards again. Then you see people moving around the table saying, I don't have any answers. The only way to stop this combo is to kill the Realm Seekers, because if the Realm Seeker is dead, the Prime Speaker Zagana will not draw 14 cards. So Kodashima asking, do you have something, do you have something? Making sure nobody comes back and says I have something as a priority. And then we saw in his end the Expedition map. And I know the Expedition map is one of his cornerstone for his combo, like we were talking with Miloku the Cloud Mirror. So as soon as he can actually use the Expedition map, he will go get Sun-Scorched Desert. Sun-Scorched Deserts allows him to, he gets put on in the field. On ETBs, it deals 1 damage to someone. He's going to tap it, grab a colorless, use the activated ability of Miloku to create a 1/1 spirit. Well, 1, return the land to hand, create a blue illusion. And then he's going to loop that infinitely, because every time he puts a land in, Kodama or Sakashima will trigger that will allow him to bring it back to Zen and put it back into play. And with that, ladies and gents, that was a superb finish to a Kodashima game where he had nothing for the first, 3, 4, 5 first turn, and then he goes out and he goes crazy. Congratulations to the Kodashima player. Once again, thank you very much everyone for listening in. So please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next game.